Three things are happening on your street right now that you're not paying attention to. None of them involve the government. None of them made the news. None of them look like an emergency. That's the problem. Not that they're invisible, that you've already seen them and decided they were normal. Everyone has a picture of what collapse looks like. Fast, loud, shelves empty overnight, sirens, smoke. A date you can point to. The grid goes dark, and you grab the bag, and you execute the plan. That's the version you trained for. Neat, identifiable. A starting gun. Here's what actually happens. The starting gun never fires. The race starts anyway, and by the time you realize you're running, you've been running for months. Your street, 2 years ago. Think about it. Not the big things, the small ones. The neighbor who used to wash his truck every Saturday morning. Gone. Not the neighbor, the habit. The truck sits in the driveway with dust on the windshield. The woman 3 doors down who planted flowers along the sidewalk in spring. The flower bed is weeds now. You walked past it yesterday and didn't register it. The couple at the end of the block who hosted a barbecue on the 4th of July didn't happen last year. Nobody mentioned it. Nobody asked. These aren't tragedies. Nobody moved. Nobody died. Something just dimmed. Slowly enough that your eye adjusted to the lower light. That adjustment is the first thing I want you to see. Not the change, your absorption of it. Here's the first shift. Economic withdrawal. Not recession, that's a word for economists. On your street it looks like this. The house that went up for sale 8 months ago is still for sale. The price dropped twice. The family across the street stopped ordering delivery. You can tell because the porch is empty on Friday nights when it used to have bags. The barber shop on the corner that was open 6 days is now open 4. No announcement. Just a sign on the door with new hours. Individually, nothing. Together, a pattern. Money didn't disappear. It retreated. People pulled inward. Spending became defensive. And nobody called a meeting about it because there's nothing to point to. No event. Just a gradient. Second shift. Social contraction. The neighborhood group chat went quiet about 3 months ago. Not dead, just slower. Someone posted about a break-in and got 2 responses. A year ago, the same post would have gotten 15, and a volunteer patrol the next night. The block party committee dissolved. Not formally. The organizer just stopped sending emails, and nobody asked why. Nobody even noticed for 6 weeks. Eye contact in the morning is shorter. Waves are faster. Doors close earlier. Conversations happen in driveways, but they're about weather now, not plans. You still know your neighbors. You just don't talk to them the way you did. This isn't hostility. It's conservation. People conserve social energy the same way they conserve money, without deciding to, without noticing. The radius shrinks, the circle tightens, and the space between households grows a little wider every month. Not wide enough to alarm anyone. Wide enough that when something happens, when you actually need the person next door, you'll hesitate before knocking. That hesitation didn't exist 2 years ago. Third shift. Normalization of absence. A streetlight burned out on the corner. That was 5 months ago. It's still out. Nobody called again. The pothole near the intersection has been there since winter. 4 months. Someone put an orange cone next to it, not the city, a resident. The cone is still there. The park bench that someone broke, nobody reported it. Or maybe someone did and nothing happened, which is the same outcome with a different story attached. Services didn't collapse. They thinned. Response times stretched. Maintenance schedules slipped quietly, without announcements. The trash gets picked up, usually. The street gets plowed, eventually. The library cut a day. The clinic reduced walk-in hours. Nothing failed. Everything just became slightly worse, across the board, all at once, slowly enough that no single change justified outrage. And you recalibrated. You stopped expecting the streetlight to work. You drive around the pothole without thinking. You walk past the bench. That recalibration is the second thing I want you to see. Not the decay, your acceptance of it. The speed at which "that's broken" became "that's just how it is." 3 days of things that don't work. The invisible man, the bag, the confident man. All of them assume a moment, a line you cross from normal to emergency. What if there's no line? What if the crossing happens so slowly that you furnished the other side? Named it just how things are. And what if you can't see who's around you because you're too busy not seeing what's already changed? 3 things happening on your street. Money pulling back, people pulling in, systems pulling away. None of them look like collapse. All of them are. And the most dangerous part isn't that they're happening. It's the word you used instead of collapse. You called it normal.